Hello, beautiful bright lights. Well, here we are again, that beautiful rainbow bridge between Australia and New Zealand. And I'm sitting here. Well, I'm not sitting here. We're here together, beautiful Priestess Lilly. And we're so looking forward to diving deep with you today.
Ooh.
We're going to have a soulful discussion. So, as beautiful Priestess Lilly often says, we may even go quite rogue today. So, really looking forward to it. How are you, Lily?
I am amazing. So looking forward to our discussions
Yes.
because there's so much insight for the listeners, but also insight for ourselves and a bit of a aha moments coming through.
Well, absolutely. Those last two sessions that we did together, I really felt like it was a real kind of reset for me, actually. I felt like it was a good reminder. You know, it doesn't matter how much work you do, there's always that beautiful aha moment, that beautiful reminder to come home to self. And yeah, I love that. I love that we still get these gorgeous insights, even though you and I do this very full time. So beautiful. Yay. So
Delicious.
good.
Absolutely delicious. And the listeners are going to love today.
You're going to love today. It's just a little chat, a little soulful chat between us. Lily had a great suggestion that we should pull a couple of cards just to kick off today, which I thought was a really good idea as well.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So I reached for the Star Temple Oracle. So this is my first little baby, my first born Oracle deck. Star Temple Oracle, loosely based on the seven sisters of the Pleiades, the star constellation in Taurus, and that just felt so right because this deck's got a lot of priestesses in it as well. So that kind of energy kind of really
Mm.
resonated and felt right. Um, and I'm going to get Lily's beautiful insights on the cards as well. But the first card that I pulled for our collective today is beautiful Taygeta, and she's one of the Pleiades sisters that's connected to the throat chakra. And it's the storyteller, intention. I am the narrator of my life. So, what Taygeta will help you do is to see the wisdom in your old story, but also release some of the stories that you may be stuck in that you need to let go of, that are holding you back or holding you down. The other thing she'll help you do is consciously create or co-create a beautiful new story as well. So it's about seeing the wisdom in your old story, letting go of stories that you may be stuck in, and also consciously creating a new story. So, how does that land with you, Lily?
When you were speaking and I was just feeling into her energy, I wrote down this is also the rise of the intuitive voice.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the
love
rise
that.
of the intuitive voice. And I think that intuitive voice is um deep, really connecting, for so long we've had our mind connected with our voice. It's a
Yes,
reconnection of our heart with our voice, our compassion with our voice, our soul with our voice, which then we get to rewrite the stories, not from the beliefs, the systems, the,
yes.
the structures from this, which is an opening, which is grounding more into clarity, into our authentic self. That's what I was getting when I was feeling
I love
into that
that so
card.
much. Yeah, like connecting the throat chakra to the heart chakra and really kind of
Mm,
channeling your heart's wisdom, from
mm,
love, really,
yeah.
from love. So beautiful. Um, yeah, so it's a really lovely card. It's the priestess. The mantra is I am an embodiment of the divine feminine. And the star words, which are really like the activation words, if you like, personify devotion and sacredness, which is a lot of what we've been talking about, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hashtag you
And
can't make this shit up.
you can't make it up, right? I know. Crazy, crazy. Um, and this card here is really beautiful. So this is Merope.
Mm.
Um, Her chakra is the crown chakra, and the words are the priestess embody. I am an embodiment of the divine feminine. So um, I just love that that's come through for us too, like through that crown of wisdom, through the portal of thought, channeling higher streams of wisdom. But also, it's an embodiment card as well. So, what comes through for you, my love, when you
Well, I
tack
just
in?
wrote down
Yep,
receiving
cool.
wisdom, receiving wisdom from within and anchoring more into your light, anchoring more, like receiving that light, but anchoring more into your light and allowing them to blend harmoniously rather than fight your intuition, fight what you feel, fight what you know. I was thinking it's like a um marrying them,
Yeah.
together.
I
Mm,
love that. That kind of blending, that merging, that
yeah.
sacred union, that divine union within. I think once you realize that it's all connected, I know we talk about it, but to actually truly understand it and make that beautiful connection, I think it's so beautiful. So, isn't it interesting that we've gone from the crown, which is our connection to divine wisdom, to the throat, which is
Mm,
your beautiful soul's voice, to your heart, which is your
mm,
heart wisdom, and connecting all three as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like, I love that so much.
Which is,
Um,
when I think about that, Lily going rogue, okay, Lily going
yeah,
rogue,
yeah, yeah,
when
good.
I think about that, when we think about our chakra systems,
Yes,
humanity is never, we as a collective consciousness, as humanity, have never evolved out of our lower chakras.
yes, yeah.
Our scarcity, our survival, our not having enough, there's not enough,
Lack
that has been,
mentality, victimhood,
yeah, that has been the programming of,
competition, comparison.
yeah, of the collective,
Um,
but also
you've got to
humanity.
fight for it. Yeah.
And now the fact that those cards have come through heart, throat, crown, that is what we're
Yes.
being asked to evolve into. That is, the priestessing in the world. That is the divine. That is everything over the last two podcasts that we've really spoken about. That is also what humanity's being asked to activate within themselves so we can activate it within the collective.
Oh, I love that. And the crown really is your own discernment as well.
Mm,
So, making up your own mind, being
yeah,
decisive. The soul's voice is, I do this beautiful kind of body prayer in the morning where I go, hand on my heart, kind feelings, hand on my throat, kind words, hand on my third eye, my temples, if you like, kind thoughts. So it's that beautiful awareness of
mm,
really tapping into that. And you're quite
mm,
right. And then, of course, once you do that, all your lower chakras align and
yeah,
anchor um, and ground to our beautiful Earth Mother, and then we're in alignment, right? So,
mm,
um, so we do have that sense of belonging. Um, we do have that personal power. We do have that sense of creativity. We do have that beautiful kind of original thought and insight, and as opposed to being the sheep and just going with the collective fear. It's
yeah,
it's quite a different energy. Yeah, love it.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's, when I think of us as in our body temple, which is what we've spoken about, and ourselves
Yes,
showing up and priestessing in the world,
yes,
you know, a lot of what we feel in our body is in our lower chakras, which is
yes,
from, is it really all of our energy to hold? Probably not. Probably some of it's collective programming. So it's about how do we move up to those higher chakras to align more fully in the present and in the now, in the, simplicity and the pause.
absolutely. I love
Mm,
this soulful discussion. I know we've talked a lot about living the priestess path in daily life, but I think, we talked about it too, as in like, you know, although we are priestesses of our own beautiful online temples and our beautiful things that we do, Lily, it is about really, walking the talk. And how do you integrate that into your everyday where it feels flowy and it doesn't feel like hard work? And I think it's, it's doing those simple, beautiful integrations, isn't it, into that kind of daily life? Like,
Mm.
let's have a bit more chat about that as well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, totally. So, how do you walk the priestess path when you're doing the dishes and answering emails
Yeah,
and navigating
exactly.
conflict and all the things that are like part of our everyday life that we don't actually, that doesn't have a reflection of us leading? Um, there's always will be mundane tasks that we have to show up in
Exactly.
because that's part of being human and living on the planet.
Yeah.
I think what we have to become conscious of is how is our energy, or how can I influence a room, or how is my energy influencing a room, or how am I
Yes. How
discerning
am I showing
this?
up?
Yeah, how am I showing up? How am I discerning this
What am
conversation?
I
Or
rippling out?
yeah, I think
What am I
that's
emanating?
yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
part of the first thing that you
it
have to
is.
start really thinking consciously. You might be
Yes.
sitting at home thinking you're just a mother. That has such a, oh, I don't work, I'm just a mum, I'm just this. You're not just a mum. You're
Yeah.
actually so much more. You are
Oh,
influencing the
absolutely.
next generation.
That's it.
And so I
Motherhood's a
think,
sacred job. Yeah.
yeah, I think that, when I think about priestessing in my daily life, every part of my daily life, even if it is mundane, has a ripple effect.
Exactly. And do you know what, too? You can get in, it sounds ridiculous, but you can get into the joy of it. Like even, washing up and cleaning up can be a beautiful ritual, actually. Like, it's
Mm.
like decluttering the cupboard.
Oh,
You're actually decluttering your mind. When you're sipping a cup of tea, you can Reiki the tea, you can infuse the tea with love, right? So, mindful eating, like even, preparing a meal for the family. One of my core values, and I know it's yours as well, is consciously creating beauty in my life. So I like to set a beautiful table. I like to make mundane things actually quite beautiful.
mm.
Having a girlfriend over for a drink or something, like if it's a kombucha or if it's a glass of nice bubbly or something, actually putting together a beautiful charcuterie, which is, you can even make that. I actually think sharing food is actually quite sacred
Yeah,
when you
same.
share food as well. So yes, we do have to do the mundane, but why don't we make the mundane beautiful rituals? Like
Mm-hmm.
I've got girlfriends that would consider themselves, kitchen witches. So for them, the way they spread their magic is through food.
Yeah.
And then I've got, I know someone comes to mind now that, through her singing, that's her way of priestessing her path in daily life. So,
Mm.
whatever it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think it's very that consciousness of everything becoming an embodied prayer.
Yes. Love that. Yeah.
Mm. You know,
An embodied prayer. Yeah.
an embodied prayer. It doesn't have to
Yes.
be, it's about that becoming, because obviously prayer, people instantly think religion. I don't
Yes.
think religion.
No. We're
I
thinking
think
more
it's setting an
priestess
intention. I
intention.
am the prayer. I am the
Yes.
temple. The church is
That's
not
right.
outside of me. The church is inside of me. And so
Absolutely, sister. Yeah.
I look at it a little bit
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I love that so much. I think, it isn't about becoming, all of a sudden very pious or very, it's more about just getting really super aware and mindful in your conversations, like if you go out for
Mm.
dinner, popping your phone away, like getting super present with the people that you love and like really enjoying the journey. For me, it's coming out of autopilot living and coming into being present. And, it doesn't mean, of course, we're going to relax on the lounge and, maybe binge on Netflix one night. You don't have to get all silly about it, but I think it's important to be, to me, it's awareness, it's presence. Yeah. Takes practice. But the rewards are infinite. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Um, how do you, Susie, stay sovereign in a world that is constantly pulling you?
Yeah. Really
Pulling,
interesting.
questioning us, questioning our identity, distracting us to look over here, do this over here. How do you stay in your own lane, in your own sovereign lane?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's what I want to
I
ask.
slip up. I slip up just like the next person. It's not like I've got all the answers and I've got it right. I have little slip ups, but um, it's really interesting because I sometimes feel a little bit challenged because I do like to be conscious and aware of what's going on in the world, and I do like to speak up if I feel there's an injustice or whatever. But what I don't want to do is get lost in the rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, you know, I think even as an intuitive, there is such a thing as psychic paranoia because we pick up on every little thing. We
Mm-hmm.
notice every little thing, like so how do I stay in my own lane? I think that's why it's so important to have non-negotiable spiritual practices. And they don't even need to be hard, they don't even need to be full on. They can just be really, moments of presence or whatever. Um, I think discernment's really important too, like understanding that if you do go down that crazy rabbit hole of all the crazy global things that are happening in the world at the moment, if you do go down that rabbit hole, it becomes deeper and darker as well. So I
And
think it's
Akia.
important to bring yourself out of it. I do sometimes feel a little bit like you have to balance it. You have to balance. I think balance is important too. Like, are you feeding the darkness or are you feeding the light? So I think it's important that um, there's some real awareness and discernment about knowing what's going on, but not falling into that deep dark hole either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's important. And I think, um, discernment. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I notice that when I'm, scrolling and right now your feed, I mean, I don't even want to go on Instagram, or everything is pre-automatic post. But like when
Yes.
you do end up scrolling, because we do,
Yes.
I just notice I have to stop myself and go, where is my energy taking me?
That's right. The
Where is my
awareness.
energy taking me? It's taking me to a place that's I'm not present. Or even watching the news. Where's my energy taking me? Oh, I can feel
Yeah.
anxious now in my body. Actually, it's time. I don't want to go there. It's
Yeah.
not about spiritual bypassing, because I
No.
don't think I think that's an but it's about just being aware on how things are really impacting and influencing your energy field. And it's
Exactly.
part of our programming too.
It is. And
Mm,
osmosis is a very real thing, isn't it, Lily? Like
mm,
the ripple effect. So if you want to make a difference in the world, you really have to make a difference in your own life,
yeah.
right? You have to start with your own beautiful backyard, really,
Mm,
you know. And I think it's important to realize that that ripple effect is real. So if you're in a constant state of despair, fear, hopelessness.
mm,
That's what you're rippling out, actually.
mm,
Um, yeah, so I think it's important to, yeah, have that discernment, which really is just um, self-governing, self-determining, um, self-awareness. Yeah. And of course, allow yourself to scroll, but if you ask yourself the question, oh, what am I even looking at? Is it even relevant? Do I even know these
yeah.
people? These are just advertisements. This is just like these aren't my friends. I don't even know what's going on here. I think you
Mm,
need to be aware of that as well, like that
yeah.
consumerism as well.
Someone
Um,
said to me just recently, unfollow
Yeah.
everyone that doesn't make you feel good. Like unfollow everything that, really is sitting in your feeds that's a distraction.
Exactly.
And I went, okay, that's actually, every that's fascinating.
I
Um,
love that so much.
and I
Yeah.
loved it because I went, that automatically as a female stops you comparing
Yeah.
yourself, body image,
Yes.
jealousy, all of the things that actually distract us from actually doing our work and, take us
Yes.
down those not good enough.
Exactly.
I'm not enough. I'm not
I'm
da
not enough. I'm
la
not good enough.
la. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think if you're constantly attracted to the darkness, it means you're in a dark place too.
Yeah.
So you might need to get some support in regards
Mm.
to, do you have depression? Do you have anxiety? Is your nervous system shot currently? I think, yeah, I think there needs to be some awareness around how it's affecting your mental health, how it's
Mm.
affecting your emotional state, how it's
Mm.
actually affecting your well-being as well. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
think,
I
yeah,
think this is, I think that's important because we're really right now, and I don't want to talk about this, but obviously this
yeah,
is part of the priestessing in your
that's
daily
right.
life.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
we're
it's a
really in it.
reality, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we're also in a pandemic of our own mind. You know,
Yes.
we have AI being launched at us. Is this real?
Yes.
Is this not real? Da, la, la,
That's
la,
right.
la, la.
Yeah.
And our own physical body hasn't
Yes.
recalibrated to
Yeah, good
what we're
point.
seeing or what we're discerning
We
or
haven't recalibrated.
yeah. And I think that is like
We will recalibrate, but
we
we haven't
will,
quite.
but our mind
Yeah.
is trying to our mind and our body is trying to come to a place of what is real, what is not real, what is because
Yeah.
everything is in such a disillusion and disarray right now.
Yes. And that discernment in around AI as well. I think it's a terrific tool if it's used with integrity. And, it's here to stay. You know, we used to have the same discussions about radio, television, the
Yeah.
internet,
Yeah.
Facebook, right?
Mm.
Um, yeah. So the
Interesting.
other
I
thing,
didn't
yeah,
think that was where we were going to go.
I know. There you go. We've gone rogue. That's good. That's good. That's random is often very intuitive too. So we obviously needed to address that. Um, our beautiful next topic, because today we're talking about the everyday temple, and
Yes.
our next topic is weaving sacredness into relationships and creative work. And I know, um, you're a creatrix. I know that you
Oh,
create the most beautiful, soulful offerings. And I know that that's something that's very dear to my heart as well. So we've got a couple of things going on here. How do we weave sacredness into our relationships? And how do we weave sacredness? How do we weave magic into our creative work as well? What do you think? What comes to mind for you, Lily?
how do we weave sacredness into our relationships? I really want to say this, and I think this is so important.
Yes.
What does love mean when without what is we all want to experience love in all different forms, but we can love freely without abandoning ourselves.
Oh my goodness, that's exactly it.
And I think right now, and I know for myself,
Yes.
there's been times where I have loved people or loved, my work, but my work has become a beast. Like my when I own my
A
catering
beautiful
company,
beast,
but
a
I
beautiful
forgot,
dragon.
yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
my value. I abandoned my worth. I abandoned myself. I abandoned so
Yes.
many elements. Um,
Resonates for me
yeah,
too.
and I think that's really important because I don't think we really realize
Yes.
if we really want to weave sacred relationships,
Yes.
there has to be truth and love equal. And
Exactly.
we have to show up not needing to give less of ourselves. It needs to be equal.
Beautiful. I love that reciprocal energy. I think weaving
Mm,
sacredness into relationships for me is understanding that we have many relationships.
yeah.
Like to me, the most important relationship is the relationship I have with myself, but it's
Mm,
taken me 61 years to realize that, by the way.
mm,
Relationship with family, and
mm,
family is one of my core values, but, relationship with community, relationship with the divine, the creator, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's the divine. Um, Relationship with colleagues, relationship with neighbours, relationship with people across the other side of the planet. There's so many different relationships. Weaving the sacredness into creative work for me is basically weaving love into everything that I do. And it sounds very John Lennon, but it's true. Like, you know, weaving, I love creating my oracle card decks. I love creating programs. I love creating, whatever it might be. And I know that we're very similar in that way. So, to me, weaving sacredness is, you're so right, Lily. It definitely starts with self,
mm,
and the energy does need to be reciprocal.
mm.
Otherwise, and it doesn't mean, tit for tat,
No.
that comes from a place of lack. I'm
Mm,
talking about reciprocal collaboration, co creation over codependence. Um, but like you, over the years, I've abandoned myself because, I'm a recovered workaholic. I'm a recovered, da da da. I worked out when I was younger that I was doing a lot of crazy things to please other people, not really to
mhm,
please myself. So for me, sacredness is integrity, actually.
mm.
Integrity. Yeah.
It's so interesting. You say you're recovered, workaholic. I'm still recovering. I'm still just trying to work this out. I
Oh,
have not mastered that. So that's something that's definitely on my priestess path still to unchain and
can I
still
tell
to
you something?
unwove.
I'm recovering too. I just like to say recovered because the power of the word,
Yeah. So I was like, Suzy, when you said, I was like, oh God, I still have to wait another how many more years um, to get there? Um, the sacredness of my creative work.
Yes, please share.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Please share
So,
because you've got some really gorgeous, creative, beautiful, soulful offerings that you're cooking up all the time. Yeah.
yeah, so normally it comes as a spiritual nudge. Comes as a
Yes.
spiritual nudge. I have to sit in the energy,
Yeah.
um, do the journal, do the creative bit.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a birthing for me. I'm at the moment birthing something into the world. I feel like I'm literally in the labor pains. Like it's
Yeah.
actually I'm doing the the birthing of it. And while I'm birthing it, it's also rebirthing me physically.
That's so true.
So my creative work, um, I have lots of different things and little
Yes.
bits that I can pull,
I love that.
but
We're the
it will
same.
come when it'll come when I'm at a vibration at a vibrational match for it.
Exactly. I
Mm.
love that.
And I think that's the thing for me. It'll come when it's meant to. I wrote a book that's really out the gate, had it sitting on my laptop for probably the last 4.5 years. I actually wrote it, and if I'd published it then, the collective consciousness wasn't ready to
Wouldn't have been
receive.
ready.
I think now the collective consciousness is
I
ready to
agree.
receive. So I think our creative projects, when we really step into our soul work,
Yes.
um, it's the best version of ourselves coming forward. It's the most
Yeah.
sacred version that the world is ready to witness, hear, and receive. But I also think when we're doing the work, when we're offering the work, I think we're actually also doing the work at the same time.
I guarantee it. Every time I create an oracle card deck or a program or a retreat or a workshop, I go on that journey too. Like Lily and I went on a journey together last year for 9 months, and
Mm,
I do the work.
mm,
I'm, it's that ever evolving ascension journey, and
mm,
growing pains are real. And I love that you mentioned, conceiving the idea, growing the idea. There's a labor of love, and then of course birthing the idea takes courage, um, takes bravery. Like
mm,
it's not easy to put yourself out there, but I
mm,
truly believe that everybody needs to step into their high priestess, into their light, because can you imagine the vibration of the planet if everyone was stepping into their light and sharing their higher streams of consciousness, their insight, their creativity, their
mm.
love, it would be like, I don't know, that's a planet I want to live on, actually.
Totally.
I'm
And
sure I've lived on a planet like that before, but anyway.
I think that's really important. It takes courage to show up and play and be visible as the priestess or the leader of your own light.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. Exactly. You don't have to be the priestess of a temple. You don't have to be the priestess of a program, or of a beautiful sacred sisterhood circle or something. Honestly, being a priestess is just being that leader of light in your own life, and showing up not just for others but for yourself as well,
mm,
and not abandoning yourself. I loved it when you talked about that.
mm,
Like, how many of us abandon ourselves? Some of us do it like it's a badge of honor, like, oh,
mm-hmm.
I'm a big giver, and I'm always doing this for others, and which is wonderful, don't get me wrong, but it can also be depleting, exhausting. Are you
Yeah.
receiving as
Shouldn't be
well?
at
Like,
sacrifice.
that's it. Yeah,
Mm.
love that.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah,
Have you ever had to burn down a version of yourself
yeah.
in order for something new to come forward?
Many times. I reckon I've had that trial by fire, many, many
Mm,
times. Um, Even my adult children will often joke about how many reinventions I've had, right?
mm,
Because I've reinvented myself many, many times, Um, and it's often been, um, you know, breaking up with a job, or breaking up with a cycle of your life or a way of life can be, it feels like a breakup, and sometimes it's a bad breakup. Sometimes it's not an easy transition, right? So, um, many, many times, I think, yeah, that 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 reinventions happened. I can think of so many different things in my work. I've reinvented myself many times in my sacred work, but also I've had many, many jobs over the years. And yeah, there's always this kind of reinvention. So the answer to that is absolutely yes. And every time, what I think too is, you don't burn the bridge because what you were doing was wrong. I just feel like it's an evolving journey. So it was right for then, it was
yeah.
good for then. I don't have any regrets about every cycle of my life. Every cycle of my life was relevant to my own spiritual growth in a really profound way. Some of it was joyful, some of it was just terrible. But in saying that, I think allowing the reinvention has been the biggest blessing of my life, actually. Yeah.
Mm, mm.
How about you?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you don't want to be in the fire.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting when we're in a fire horse year. So I just was curious
Yes.
to know because I know that the energy is moving very fast and it does feel like the flame is burning. Things are we are letting go of things and we are moving
Yes.
really fast into a different paradigm, if that makes sense. But yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Um, when
That
I
sacred flame transmutes, doesn't it? It's not like it's
Yeah,
it's not like
yeah.
it's going somewhere and being stored somewhere. It's that beautiful transformational flame, the sacred flame,
Mm, yeah.
burning away the old to make way for the new. And if you look at our beautiful Earth Mother, and we are not separate to her, we're one with her.
Mm,
Um, I think it's important that we go through different cycles, and we're okay with that next version of ourselves. We're actually, you
mm.
know, yeah,
And I know for myself when I was hiding as a medium,
yeah,
doing Miss Lily's catering, um,
yeah,
like kitchen witch, hiding and being a medium, my energy felt very split. I felt very split. This was
yeah.
my
Good point.
passion. This was my purpose, passion, purpose. And I had created an identity of Miss Lily's catering and
Yes,
really wanted to explore my own awakening and what was happening over here and wanting
yeah,
to embody more of that. The interesting thing was not until I left Rangiora to move to Picton and had to purge my kitchen, purge my catering gear. Really, it was an absolute purging. I realized um, it was, I grieved. I grieved that part of myself, but I realized
yeah,
how disconnected I had become about food was no longer sacred to me and my family. Now that I'm back
yes,
here and catering's not my job, food has become sacred again. The
yeah,
language of food and sharing and um, going out to the garden, picking my food,
yes,
garden to plate, everything
yeah.
that I believed within my catering company has regenerated into my home. But there was a time that I didn't want to cook. It felt like a job, but now all of that's like rebirthed again to a higher
So
level. And
beautiful.
so, yeah, I just want to say that sometimes giving away an identity is also giving something back to yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Mm,
Exactly. I think when
mm.
you can, how lucky are we that we get to work our passion. Like our passion
Oh,
is our work, right? It's so beautiful, you know. Yeah, I love that so much. I remember like I've had quite a few complete transformations, and I remember a group of friends saying to me, "Oh my God, you've just changed so much. You're just so different." Like, and I'd go, and I'm thinking to myself, well, isn't that the whole point? Aren't we meant to grow, evolve, change? Um, yeah, so I'm sort of glad that I've embraced those changes over the years. Yeah, it's
mm.
amazing, isn't it?
It's interesting,
Yeah,
eh?
love that. Love that.
Do you think because priestessing and obviously right, priestessing is about us embodying our own sense of freedom and sovereignty
Yeah,
and self and
yes,
that layering. Do you
yeah.
think freedom is something we achieve or do you think it's something we remember to claim?
Oh, yeah, I think it's definitely a remembering, um, to remember that, we're sovereign beings with the gift of free
Mm,
will. We get to decide. Even if you're in situations that feel like they're out of your control, you always have complete free will over your thoughts and your feelings,
mm,
and how you're reacting and what you're doing. Is it a remembering, or is it a learning? I do think there's some. I think it's. I actually, to me, I went straight to remembering, but I actually think it's a bit of a combination of the two, actually, because there is some, you do have to action it, right? So,
mm,
you do have to do what needs doing, um, to make it happen, I guess. So I think it's a combination. More remembering though. Yeah.
mm.
What about you? What do you think?
I think the same. I think it's reclaiming and a remembering.
Yes. The reclaiming is important because that's a conscious act.
Yeah.
So
And
to
so I think
reclaim,
that's,
you actually have to
yeah.
embrace it, call
So I
it in,
think,
bring it in.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the reclaiming's the faith in action. But I
Yes.
think remembering is we came into the planet as a free soul.
Yes. That
And
is definitely a remembering. I
yeah.
think
And
babies
so,
know it,
yeah.
you
So
know?
I feel like it's reconnecting or is it reconnecting back to that accord of I
Yes.
don't know. I'm not sure.
I think you're
I'm not
right.
sure. That's why I'm asking.
the reason it's a challenge is because we're also, we're also part of that oneness consciousness. So
Mm,
there's no
mm.
separateness. Okay. So if something's happening in the collective field, of course you're going to feel it, right?
Yes,
Um, but I think to have that discernment, knowing that you also have autonomy within that,
yes.
and that there's remembering in that. I think it's also worth mentioning that you can be a, a luminary, a leader, a priestess, you know, in all walks of life too. I think it's important to spell that out too, that
Mm,
in your chosen field, whatever you're doing, whatever you're called to do. Um, I know, I know that, I've been an entrepreneur many times and often end up in a leadership role with whatever work I do. And I feel like you might be the same way. Am I right? Is that
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I remember when the kids were little and interest rates were crazy and we were trying to make ends meet. And at one point there, I was working 2 or 3 jobs and I remember cleaning at night and even within that cleaning job, which I actually quite enjoyed, I'd put my headphones on, my music on, and just run around with the vacuum on my back when nobody was in the building. Um, but even then, I'd have people come to me going, "Oh, do you mind being the night manager? Do you think you could run the team? Do you think you could?" And I'm thinking, well, cleaning isn't my chosen career.
Mhm.
But I guess what I'm getting at is you can have leadership abilities in many, many areas of life. Yeah. It's not
Yeah,
just in that spiritual kind of arena as well. Do you believe that? Do you think
I
that?
absolutely believe that totally. And I think right now, I think that's a really important thing what you've just said. You
Yeah.
know, um, we are, I think you're chosen. I think we're all chosen. I don't think it's a special group of us that think they're chosen. I think we're all chosen in our own ways
That's
to
exactly
lead,
right. Yeah.
to
To play
become
whatever
leaders.
role. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the roles that what roles that we're prepared to step into, our
Yes.
learning tools or our higher learning of consciousness of something more about ourselves. Um,
Yes.
I think right now the the human self is being extremely tested. All of us
Yes.
individually on the planet. Um,
Yes.
interest. I don't know what Australia's like, but interest rates of inflation.
Oh, there's a financial
The list
crisis
goes
here without
on.
a doubt. Yeah.
Homelessness, like there's limit,
Shops are
and
closing. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that right now we are being asked really consciously to find a different way. Really consciously, we're being asked
Yes.
to become still, discern.
Yes.
So it's closing. I mean, some things are closing down or no longer
Yes.
available for to us for a
That's right.
reason. And I think that that
Yes.
is because we're here to build in the world of priestessing, new
Yeah.
earth codes. We're
Yeah.
coming back to community. We're coming back to oneness.
Definitely.
We're coming back to us. Um,
Definitely.
so I
Yeah.
think that's why things are changing because we're being asked and discerned to get more, I don't want to say real, but to get more
Sort of.
embodied.
Exactly.
Mm,
I think, out with the old, in with the new. If something's
mm,
falling away, if
yeah.
something's falling away, of course, there's a grieving process in that because we cling to what we know. But I think often the falling away is the falling back together, and it's like
Yes.
creating energetic space for a new way of being.
Yes.
I think we have to see it as an opportunity,
Mm,
um, as opposed to a loss. I mean, I know it is a
mm-hmm,
loss, but it's also gaining as well.
mm-hmm,
I think you're quite right. If things aren't working, they're falling apart because we need a new way. And
mm-hmm,
I think the priestess is about really embracing the pathway of love and returning home to community and to the collective consciousness, which means, yeah,
mm,
um, I think, separateness, I mean, it's how people control is
yeah.
by, divide and conquer. And there's a lot of division and conquering going on at the moment. But I think it's important that the opposite happens, that, we find each other and we come together and I think that's happening anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that the illusion, the mask, the whatever you
yeah,
want to, the shadow, whatever sits in your realm,
yes,
is currently shedding. I think that's being shed. And I think we're
yes,
really being asked individually, but also
yes,
collectively, what does our highest timeline look like? What is really on our highest timeline? What is
yes,
required right now? And I think that that's really, we're being picked up, shaken off, and
yeah,
put over here. And I think for
yeah.
so many people, and I know for myself, that's really, really confusing because, or,
Very
oh, what do I
confusing.
have to show? How do,
And they're
what,
very good at it.
yeah.
Like a lot of that brainwashing, it's very,
Mm,
when I say they, who are they? Usually, very highly paid corporations,
yeah.
governments, who knows. And,
So what
some
does
of
your
that,
highest timeline look right now? Look
that's
like?
right. Hey,
What does your highest timeline look like right now? What is it? What's it asking you to do in
I
the
think
world of
it's,
priestessing?
I think it's really asking me to stop apologizing for my work and who I am.
Mm,
Um, I think it's telling me to embrace it, get into the joy of it too, like enjoy the journey of it. But yeah, I kind of want to create a unity and harmony as opposed to
mm,
division. And yeah, it's interesting. So for me, it's the bringing people together. Yeah.
mm.
What about you?
Haven't thought about it.
I know it's tricky. I don't even
I
know where that
think
came
my
from.
I think my highest timeline
Actually,
as a
that's not true. I do know
priestess
where it
in the
came from.
world, I think my highest timeline as a
Yeah.
priestess in the world right now is really asking me um to shine my light,
Yes.
to shine my light, to show up for myself, to
Yes.
show up for others, to show up for
Yes.
my ancestors, the wise
Yes.
women that have come before me.
Absolutely.
Um, not with um apologies,
Yeah.
but with conviction, with courage, with
With
love, with
conviction and
unity, with
courage,
community,
with community.
creation. I think that's what it
Beautiful.
looks like, to what it actually looks like within my work. Um, I think that's where I actually get to be in the birthing canal and create.
I love that.
Mm,
I love the co-creation. It's so fun. I call it
mm,
my heart job. I
mm,
absolutely love it. Yeah. Often the
mm,
question I ask myself if I see something on the 6 o'clock news or whatever, it's usually very repetitive. They do that on purpose. Um, is this creating division
mm,
or is this creating unity? You know? And the answer is always simple.
mm,
Um, really, really beautiful. Love that. What a
mm.
great discussion. So fun. I love
I
it.
know. Yeah,
I'm
it
so
is.
excited for our fourth session, which is the spiral returns. We're going to do a beautiful ceremony and integration, a beautiful invocation, a beautiful guided meditation, and a beautiful kind of closing prayer. So, super excited for this series. It's a series of four, and the next series is more about ceremony and integration. Are you excited for that,
Mm.
Lily?
You know what? I'm so excited because they've experienced our magic over the last three podcasts, but they really get to experience our magic. Like they really get
Exactly.
to and experience their own physical self as a temple. And I think that that is where they're really, it's like a coming home.
Yes, absolutely. Like a coming home, a remembrance, an
Mm,
embodiment. Actually, it gives them the opportunity to embrace their own beautiful priestess
mm,
presence and their light. And
mm,
it's beautiful. So we've done lots
yeah.
of things. We've done a
Mm,
soulful remembrance of the priestess lineage, tools for embodiment and intuitive mastery, inspiration to create your own everyday temple, a ceremonial journey of integration and leadership, which is what's up next. So super excited for that. Yeah. Yay.
yeah, it'll be potent, ladies. You're going to love it. Mm,
Beautiful, my love. I love collaborating with you. I love co-creating with you. We're very in sync. There's a
Same, same.
synchronicity. Same,
I
same.
absolutely love it, Suzy, and I know that the listeners would have received so much magic just in the last three, let alone the fourth. The fourth is the bonus.
Exactly. Love that so, so much.
Mm,
Yay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Make sure you listen to all of the sessions because
mm,
they're very connected. They're very woven together, which is really
mm.
beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye for
you.
now. Bye.